Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or in the case of where I am, good middle of the night. My name is Purvi Gandhi Irwin, and I am honored to welcome you all to the 2023 AUGI General Meeting. I am coming to you from Dhaka, Bangladesh, where I live with my family. We are here on our first tour with the United States Foreign Service. I want to start by thanking the AUGI leadership for inviting me to open this year's meeting. It is such a great honor to speak to all of you, my colleagues here from around the world. This organization does such great things to promote our industry and all of the people who are part of it. I want to start with talking about my first experience with Autodesk, which was learning the basics of AutoCAD during a design technology class assignment in middle school. I think it was release 13 or 14 that I was learning on, and I'll let you do the math on how old that actually makes me. Back then, I was not nearly as tech savvy as I am now, and it might surprise you that at that point, I just couldn't get it, and I had to ask a friend to help me, who basically did the assignment for me. My, how things have changed since way back then. I can now proudly say that I've been a Revit user for over 15 years and have fully embraced all that design technology has to offer. AUGI has been and continues to be a great resource for me as I continue along my technology journey. There are so many different ways to connect with our community here, which includes things like the online forums, the AUGI World magazine, the newsletters, and all the annual surveys and polls. All of these assets are great ways to stay on top of all the latest trends in our industry and to learn things in the process. I want to highlight one of the biggest initiatives that AUGI undertakes each year, which is the annual salary survey. We know that our industry has great pay disparities between the different disciplines and levels within each of those disciplines. This survey does a lot to inform us all on what is happening in the market, and it arms us with this hard data so that we can use it to better negotiate for better pay and benefits. I hope that every one of you takes the time to fill it out every year, as the more data we have, the better, of course. I'm looking forward to some new and exciting things in 2024 from AUGI. Stay tuned for more information on this and updates from the board. Thank you again to the AUGI leadership for inviting me to open this year's annual meeting. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of 2023 and a very, very happy new year.
All right. We want to thank Purvi for doing our introduction this year. And I'm so grateful to her for accepting that. And I think she did a wonderful job. So everyone, if you know her, reach out to her and just give her a big thank you from us. We're going to call our meeting to order now, and I want to just let everyone know that we are recording this meeting, just as a reminder, and we'll go ahead and present our agenda. First of all, we're going to present our executive director and board of directors, and I won't go through every little detail in here, but we have some new board of director member to welcome, as well as some new advisory board members. And then we'll continue on with our agenda from there. But I want to give a special welcome to our guest presenters, Rafael Tesai and Robert Green. And thank you both for being here today. Our first welcome is just to our executive director, David Harrington. We thank him for his many years of service to AUGI. And this is your current board of directors. I'm Katie King, and I am the president of the board of directors. We have Frank Mayfield on the call, and he is our VP. And if you guys want to give a little wave or a little salute, you're welcome to do that. We also have Todd Rogers, who wasn't able to be here today, so we want to welcome him just kind of as if he was here, just pretend. So he is our treasurer of AUGI World, or excuse me, our treasurer of the board of directors, and he is our AUGI World editor-in-chief. We have Christina Youngblood, who is our newest member, and she is our secretary. We have Chris Lindner, Scott Wilcox, and Eric DeLeon. All right, we are going to start with Christina. And Christina is our newest board member. And I'm so happy that she can be here. She has brought a huge just boost to our team. She's brought so much energy and just so much enthusiasm into our group, and has so many ideas. And I just wanted to tell her that I'm so grateful that she's joined us. Christina is a CAD solutions and technologies expert with over 20 years of experience in the architecture, engineering, and construction community. Her main focus is on providing innovative solutions and technologies for professionals in the manufactured product sector. Additionally, she is a passionate advocate for lifelong and continuous learning while sharing industry knowledge to the next generation of inspiring professionals. And thank you so much, Christina, and we're so happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right. Now, we have recently started a new program, I guess you could say. We have added what we call an advisory board to our board, and the purpose of our advisory board is to bring in members of the community that we feel can provide additional insight into the community, and bring us just more information and help us to develop what we're trying to do more. We really want to just have what's the best way to say this? So sorry, I'm ill prepared for this moment a little bit, but we just wanted to really improve how we were relating to the community, and we felt like this was a great way to do it. And Sean, you're gonna hate me a tiny bit, but I have, and this is truly that moment where you have that one wrong thing. I've lost Sean's bio, so if any one of my board members has it and wants to throw it out there, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce Sean Hurley as our first advisory board member. And we are so grateful to him for taking this position. And once again, we really hope that he can help us provide, more relationship with our community. So sorry, Sean. But you guys probably all know Sean. You can look him up. So I do apologize for that, though. There's my meeting moment for the meeting. All right, I'm going to turn the time over to Christina to introduce Shelby.
Hi, everybody. I am super excited by both Sean and Shelby. I love you guys both, but I have the pleasure of introducing Shelby to as a new advisory board member with AUGI. So Shelby Smith is an Autodesk Expert Elite CIM manager and a Civil 3D certified professional. She graduated with a bachelor's in science and civil engineering and a minor in architectural history from Penn State University. That was a mouthful. She welcomed the opportunity to teach first-year engineering students as an adjunct professor at a local college, and her passion for Autodesk software has spanned over 20 years with a diverse background in civil site design, transit authority, headquarters, private and commercial land development, and a brief time in the oil and gas industry. Research and implementing new methods for modeling is a particular interest to her, especially with a passion for grading design. Embracing the challenge in creating templates and customizing styles and tools to enable a better workflow in Civil 3D. She has led the effort to implement and create design standards for her company, utilizing Autodesk AutoCAD, Civil 3D, Subassembly Composer, and InfraWorks software. Shelby enjoys contributing to many communities, Autodesk community, AUGI, and community voices. She also hopes to continue to give back to the community by sharing her knowledge and experience. And I would like to be the first to welcome Shelby to the team, and we look forward to the ideas and her enthusiasm. And her and I, our personalities kind of vibe together. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can impact AUGI together.
All right, we're going to turn the time over to Eric DeLeon.
Next slide. There you go. All right. Yeah, my name is Eric DeLeon. Glad to be here today, and would like to introduce to you my good friend, Rafael Testai. He's a mechanical engineer and a SolidWorks influencer. He makes CAD videos and accumulates an average of 2 million impressions a year on LinkedIn. He's now focusing on integrating artificial intelligence into the world of mechanical engineering. Today, he's going to give us a presentation about AI and SolidWorks. Take it away, my friend. And thank you for being here.
How's my audio, everyone?
That's great, Rafael. If you
Great.
want to go ahead and share your screen with us, I'll be happy to work that out with you there.
Yeah, sure thing. All right, one moment.
I can hear you great, though. Thank you.
All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yep. Yes, I can see your screen.
Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so hello, everyone. Thanks, Eric, for the introduction. My name is Rafael Testai, and I'm a mechanical engineer for the last 5 years, and I'm also a SolidWorks influencer. As Eric said, my videos have accumulated over 2 million impressions on LinkedIn alone this past year, and you may have seen some of my work come across your feed. Has to do with SolidWorks, not only teaching people tips and tricks, but more about like the story behind the people behind the computers and their expertise, how they acquired it. And the other thing that I've done is tear apart gadgets, like you see here, multicolored pen, and I'll reverse engineer in SolidWorks and I'll teach people the mechanism, right? So learn by doing. That's my favorite philosophy. So today I have a presentation about artificial intelligence and how it can be used in the world of mechanical engineering. And I have one example to give you. So by show of hands, how many people are familiar with ChatGPT? Like say I, or do a little hand signal in the chat, just to get an idea of the expertise of my audience here. Okay, so I didn't hear anything. I didn't see any emojis show up in the chat, but I'm still gonna keep going. I created something called a SolidWorks mentor, which uses artificial intelligence to train SolidWorks beginners. It's like basically someone that's by your side and it's going to guide you along the journey. And before I show you the actual tool, the most innovative thing about this called ChatGPT or artificial intelligence is that if you're going to remember one thing from this presentation, is this thing right here. You can make artificial intelligence with English. You don't have to code anymore. You can give it instructions and parameters, and artificial intelligence can do what you ask it to. So that's what I did. I created a SolidWorks mentor, and I'm going to show you like a quick demo. Let's see. So, and also the reason why I made this is because I get so much correspondence on a weekly basis that people are overwhelmed with learning SolidWorks. They don't know where to start, what resources to use. And it's a difficult journey. So the idea is that this artificial intelligence bot or chat AI will have an encouraging tone, and it will remove you from the anxieties and be there with you along the way. So we can ask it anything, like we're talking to a human being. It's like, what should I do? I'm just gonna do like 2 prompts, something very simple. What should I do if I want to learn SolidWorks and I know practically nothing? It's for a homework assignment at school. Just one quick demo here, and you talk to it, it'll process it, and it'll talk back. And the interesting thing is that later on I made other videos on this, but it'll even hyperlink videos that you should watch. And It's simply amazing. So I wanted to introduce everyone that artificial intelligence is here, and we should probably take advantage of that. So in essence, that's my presentation, and I wanted to open the floor, network error, of course, but I wanted to open the floor if anyone has any questions or anything that they want to test it with, that we can ask it. Looks like everyone's on mute.
I just
But
wanted to open it up and let everyone know that the chat should be working now. We're having a few minor problems with Zoom and the reactions, but you should be able to use Q&A, and you should also be able to use the chat at this point as well. So feel free to work on that.
cool. Reactions are off. Got it right. Okay. Well, yeah, if anyone wants to like ask and make this interactive, otherwise, essentially that's the gist of it. And I actually have another one. If no one has any questions for the SolidWorks mentor ChatGPT that I made, I can actually show you another one to show you the functionalities and how diverse artificial intelligence can be. I made one. I want to double check here in the chat to make sure no one has any questions. It's working now. Chat's working. Okay. What are some of the, let me see. What are some of the benefits of using SolidWorks? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's ask that. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this live is because the company that produced ChatGPT, which is what we're using, they're called OpenAI, and they limited the signups to use ChatGPT Plus, which is the service that I'm using now. So even if you want to use ChatGPT Plus now, you can't. You have to get on a waiting list. So that's why I wanted to make this live. So here's the answer. What are some of the benefits using SolidWorks? User-friendly, large community, excellent. Okay, strong Chanel. All right. A lot of the people that are visionaries are looking ahead. They say that artificial intelligence is slowly going to replace search engine. So replace Google. And I found that pretty interesting. And I think that to be the truth. Another interesting bit of information is that ChatGPT actually uses Bing for search engine, right? Bing, the one that no one uses, because it's a Microsoft product. Microsoft owns 49% of ChatGPT. So I wanted to throw it out there that it may not be a bad idea to start investing in Bing in terms of building links on Bing rather than Google. Because if this is the way that the future is going to go into with ChatGPT, Bing is going to be the place where ChatGPT gets its information from.
Hey, Raphael, this is
Yeah.
Frank. Got a couple of questions over in the Q&A. Mike wants to know what is the most important thing to remember when working in SolidWorks? And then Christopher would like to know, what did you use to train the AI?
Great. What's the first one again? What's the most important thing to you?
Remember when working in SolidWorks.
Okay.
Do you remember? There you go.
Sketches, primer. Yeah. My opinion on this is, so we all heard that saying, right? Trash in, trash out. This is not a trash question, but the reason why I mentioned that is because I think I agree with the answer, but as a mechanical design engineer, I would want to know like what's the important thing to know as a mechanical design engineer now that I think about the first question, because you want to think about design intent before you dive into SolidWorks and start designing. And yeah, one can have a conversation with the tool like I'm doing right now. Okay. One last bit. How am I doing on time? How much time do I have left in the presentation?
I think you got maybe 7 minutes or so, Ralph.
Okay. And the other thing is it can even expand to legal services, right? Lawyers are so expensive. And I'm going to share for 60 seconds real quick. This is a GPT that I created that's already being used by victims of domestic violence. So I trained it to be like a criminal attorney that specifies in domestic violence. This is relevant to this presentation because we may want to use artificial intelligence for documentation or to save us money, and we can brainstorm ideas later one day after the call as to how artificial intelligence can help this organization, right? And yeah, this tool is already being used and saving lives. It certainly helped me. I'm embarrassed to share, but I survived domestic violence. And yeah, I'm always, I want to raise awareness. I believe that everything happens to us in life for a reason. And maybe it happened to me so I can help people with the GPT I made so they don't have to go through the struggle I went through. But yeah, back to CAD and SolidWorks. It's my passion.
So real
Yeah.
quick, Raf, a couple questions. So how long did it take you to train the SolidWorks mentor and maybe also the domestic violence mentor or the advisor?
I appreciate the question. Thanks for asking. And the SolidWorks mentor, just one afternoon, maybe 3 hours. The whole thing about it is you create it, you launch it, like you launch it publicly. Like how many of us have made a website in one of those like drag and drop places like Wix or Squarespace? So you publish it and then you access it and you start testing and then you go back to on the back end and you fix it. So about 3 hours for the SolidWorks mentor. And for the domestic violence one, I do that one every day. Like I'm always testing it and improving it. And I would say maybe a week to get it up and running with the domestic violence one. But it's a constant iterative process. So unless anyone has any other questions, that was it. I wanted to introduce you to artificial intelligence, its capabilities, to SolidWorks and legal. This is Rafael Testay.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rafael. We really appreciate that.
Awesome.
Was awesome. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Hopefully we'll just get this pretty quickly. There we go. All right. We are going to turn the time over to Chris Linder for a brief financial review. And we all like to keep these things brief. So.
Oh, come on. This is what everybody signed in for. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. And just a quick overview of our financial situation. You can go to the next slide there, Katie. Thank you. So this is where our money comes from. The bulk of what we bring in is obviously through advertising. That's advertising on the website, through Hot News, through AUGI World, those publications. We do have some sponsorships. Dell is obviously a big sponsor of ours. The revenue share is basically income that we get through the career portal, where we connect the industry with people who are looking for jobs, people who have jobs they're trying to fill. So there's some income coming from that. And then the last part is of our income is the membership income. So I would just say, hey, you guys need to do a little better job, step up, and you got a little work to do so we can get this 1% wedge increase a little bit. No, we're just kidding. We appreciate you guys being here and glad we can do this. And obviously, it's those other sources of income that make it possible for us to provide the resources that AUGI has that are free, but we sincerely appreciate those that have opted to pay for a membership. Obviously, there's benefits to that you get, but we appreciate those that have added to that income. All right, let's go to expenses, and this is where all that money goes that comes in. Printing is a pretty good chunk. That's basically the AUGI World publication. It is one of the few remaining technology publications out there, and we're proud of that. And if you're not getting the print version, that is something that you can sign up for on the AUGI through your AUGI membership. So if you want to get a hard copy, it's nice to have it laying around a coffee table or your desk or in the break room at the office, just to increase awareness and just something to read when you have a few minutes. So if you want that hard copy, go check that option out on the AUGI website. Operations wise, this is just our taxes and subscriptions and fees and things like that. Publications, this is primarily for editing and layout and writers and of the Hot News and AUGI World publications. And then web initiatives, sales team would be a compensation for the sales team as they bring in advertisers. And then the last one is web initiatives. This is the costs that are involved in maintaining the website, doing code updates, adding new features, that type of thing. So there you have it. There's where we're at financially. And thank you for your help.
Thanks, Chris. All right, we'll turn the time over to Christina Youngblood. She is helping out with Todd Rogers being out today. Thank you, Christina.
No problem. So we're going to go over a little bit of the AUGI World Review. This is our magazine. And as Chris has mentioned, we are one of the last remaining technology actually printed, physically printed magazines. So if you're not currently a subscriber or receive our magazine, I strongly suggest you check it out because it's full of exciting content from professionals across multiple industries. Some things for 2024. We are always looking for content managers. We have a few categories that we're still looking for: Bentley, visualization, AutoCAD, MEP, Inventor, and Bluebeam. So anybody who's here and might want to reach out to us, please feel free to connect with one of the AUGI board members, or I think there's an contact email on our website. Please feel free to reach out to us. And we are always looking for new people to contribute to our magazine. We also would like to welcome some new content managers for 2024. Rena Shea and R.K. McSwain. They are going to be doing our new, inside track. We have Jason, I am so sorry, Jason Pekovich and Jonathan Masoro. I apologize for any pronunciation I might have gotten wrong. With our Revit content, Mark Burns for electricals, Stephen Waltz for BIM and CIM, and myself, I've covered manufacturing and SketchUp. So this isn't exclusively the content that we write, but we help manage it if somebody comes in and is looking for information that is or interested in contributing. So, and we've also included a lot of new authors this year. So please go and check out the magazine and find out some of the interesting topics that have been covered.
All right. We'll like to ask Scott Wilcox to jump in and introduce our next guest presenter.
Hi, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to introduce today's second guest presenter, Robert Green. Robert was a mechanical engineer in San Jose Bay Area when one day his boss tossed a pack of floppy disks at him and told him to figure this AutoCAD thingy out. Despite never having heard of AutoCAD, his boss assured him that he was a smart guy and he'd figure it out. And from that point on, Robert has served as the Alpha CAD user and CAD manager everywhere he's worked. After 7 years, he decided to start his own consulting business. That was back in 1992. And Robert has been gainfully unemployed ever since, doing CAD implementation, training, and customization throughout US, Canada, and Europe. Now, you may know him from his fantastic CAD manager column in Catalyst magazine, or his 26 years speaking at Autodesk University, or his lectures at past AUGI CAD camps, or from his Facebook group, CAD Managers Unite. Please join me in welcoming my friend and our guest and longtime AUGI World contributor, Robert Green. Welcome, Robert.
Thanks so much, Scott. Really appreciate you giving me the kind introduction there, and thanks to AUGI for inviting me to come in today for a few moments. Looking forward to it. So if we were going to sit down and I was going to give someone a little bit of an overview of what you might want to do to move your CAD professional career along, what would we cover? So that was kind of my challenge for this. And that's what I hope I'm going to do over the next 15 minutes or so. So when I thought about it, I thought about what did I do that I think has made me successful. And I would have to say that I've learned to ignore the hype and to keep my eye on the ball, stay focused, and constantly expand my skill set so that I could be a more valuable professional to any company that I work or consult for. So I'm going to dig a little bit into how I think I've done that. And my hope is that everyone can take a few of these pointers away from today's presentation and use it in a way that makes sense for you. All right, let's dig in. So if I'm telling you to ignore the hype, I guess I have to define what hype is. And to me, over the years, the hype is just all these crazy predictions and crazy ideas and things that are constantly floated around in the CAD press. It's typically driven by marketing people and the CAD vendors themselves. And I think we all know that a lot of it's impossible, or that it's not going to turn out the way that the hype would lead you to believe. So I have basically learned to read it, but then to put it to the side and more or less ignore it until I start to see it affecting my career. So that's what I mean when I say hype. Now, let me give you a few examples. And these are things that I can remember throughout the course of my career. I remember going to the Parametric Technologies office in Atlanta in 1992, and they told me that 2D drawings will be absolutely dead and gone and automated within 5 years. And that AutoCAD and 2D packages like that are just going to be gone in 5 years. Did that happen? Nope. I remember a big movement in the BIM community where you'd see a lot of the CAD vendors were saying around 2010 or so. Revit had been out 8 or 9 years as an Autodesk product at that time, that all AEC will be done in BIM and that things like AutoCAD will be a tool of the past. And we see that that's not happened either. Now, of course, we see a lot of things about AI. And if you went to Autodesk University a few weeks ago, Autodesk has kind of doubled down on this AI. Now, I'm not going to read these quotes to you. I'll let you read them for yourself. But here's my question. Has any of this ever happened in the way the hype said it would happen? Is any of this really specific enough to act upon? I'm going to say no and no to those questions. What I have found is that trying to interpret the hype that's coming from all of the marketeers and all that, if I had spent all my time doing what they told me to do, I would have wasted a lot of time.
Hey, Robert, we don't have your screen share yet. Sorry. I just realized that when you said quote.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you're exactly
thank you,
right.
Steve Bennett, for that.
You're exactly
Sorry
right.
to interrupt you, Robert.
No. Thank you for doing that. That was absolutely stupid of me.
I know it's that would go along with my earlier blunder. There we go. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, I'll give you 1 second to read some of these quotes. Long story short, if I had paid all the attention to the hype that the industry had told me to listen to, I would have spent a lot of time working on things that didn't really make any sense. It would be far better for me to concentrate on the things that really do concretely affect my career. So that's what I want to move to next. Okay. Following the hype or what the marketeers are telling you has never made your company faster, better, or more profitable. But you as a professional can. If you build your skills and skill set in such a way that you can speed projects and deliverables, you're going to increase the profits to your company. Your company is going to like this. They're going to be rewarded with profits, but you're going to be rewarded with career advancement. Now, this has always been true. Ever since I've been in this industry, which is about 30 years now, it's always been true. It's hard to get good people, and it's really hard to get people who can make your business run better. So if I focus on that, I'm going to be secure. I've probably spent about 4 or 5 weeks out of work in the last 30 years just by adhering to this principle. Okay, so what skills should I pursue to advance my career, and what can I read or what can I do to learn more? This is a reasonable question, and all I can really do is tell you what I've learned, more or less in the order of priority that I've learned it, and then you can decide what makes the most sense for you. Now, one thing that I've heard over and over again is that a career is a marathon, not a sprint. Or another way to do that is to use the old fable that the tortoise wins, the hare doesn't. Well, what I have learned is that this is a mindset. Change happens over time, but it happens in fits and starts. Should you be the tortoise or the hair? The answer to that is yes. You should position yourself to take advantage of both. Now, some days, months, years can be marathons. They can be long grinds where you deal with project delivery and there's really not a lot of technical innovation. There can be other periods where there's a huge amount of technical innovation that can happen extremely quickly. So your work as a CAD professional can be a marathon or a sprint. Knowing when to grind and when to move fast is really the key. But how do you know? Well, I started figuring out about 30 years ago that it's the economy. Periods of rapid technological change almost always synchronize with periods of economic growth. I dropped an arrow there when I first started using AutoCAD, when my boss, Rob, threw me the floppies. At that time, we were kind of on a long uphill, steady growth cycle, moving into the dot-com bubble, stock bubble that happened right around the beginning of 2000, 2001. A lot of technological change, a lot of new software tools, a lot of new networks, a lot of figuring things out. But then when things started to move in a downward direction, we didn't see that change at all. So slow and steady, or no improvement whatsoever, seems to sync with economic decline. Now, here's my point. What is going to drive how technology affects your career? It's not the marketeer's hype. It's not even how fast you study. It's the economy. Your availability or your opportunity to learn rapid technology acceleration is only going to happen when the economy's good. And when the economy's bad, you want to make sure that you secure your job and don't get laid off, and that you can continue to get the projects going out the door. Now, notice how this was not about AI. Notice how this was not about new software releases. Notice how this really wasn't technical. It was economic. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier, but that does seem to be the case. So pay attention to the economy, and that will predict how technology is going to change and whether you should sprint or dig in for the long grind in any given period of time. So what I started to ask myself was this: what kind of skills could I build that would work no matter what? Up economy, down economy, whether I was in tortoise or hare mode, what skills are going to benefit me no matter what? Now, this is the real key question to ask yourself. And this is where you should put your emphasis so that you can build skills this way. I'm going to share with you my roadmap for how I've arrived at doing this in my consulting practice, and in hopes that it may work for you as well. The first thing to do is to build a mindset of constant improvement. And if you want to go read anything about this, you absolutely need to read about the Deming cycle. The father of the modern Deming cycle, Edwards Deming, he's down there in the lower corner, said, if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, then you don't know what you're doing. And I completely agree with that. So let's think of those of us who are in charge of things like CAD standards, working through project process procedures, checklists, making sure that sets of drawings get done correctly, making sure the PDF files get captured the right way, and that everything is done consistently each and every time. That's a process. And if your company doesn't have that documented, then you don't really know what you're doing. And chances are you wind up fighting a lot of fires every single day. So I have learned to concentrate on this quite a lot. I would recommend that if you don't understand what the Deming cycle is, that you go read about it. Yeah, a quick Google search would take you to almost all the right places, and you can start seeing exactly what's involved here. It's an act of planning the work, doing the testing, checking your results, and then acting upon what you find out. Plan, do, check, act, and it repeats. Are you ever done improving your CAD processes? No. Are you ever done building your skill set as a CAD professional? No, you're not. The first part of this, the plan, do piece, is what are called software accelerators. And if you want to read about this, go look at the author Jim Collins in the book Good to Great. It's chapter 7. And in this, he talks about the idea that anytime you get new software, you need to look for the new features in that software that solve your problems today. If you implement new software features that solve problems, it's going to be easy to adopt. Why? Because people love solutions to their problems, so they're going to listen. This will speed up your work because it removes problems. And notice how this isn't hype and fluff. This is X's and O's. What problems do we have? What software features can we put in place to solve it? And if we go back to the Deming cycle, this is the plan and do part of the Deming cycle. Moving on to the check. One thing that I've done quite a lot, and I swear by it at this point, is to use a skunkworks pilot project approach. What this does is it allows you to prove that these new software accelerators are actually working. You do this with rapid pilot project testing. If you want to read about this, look up Ben Rich and read his book, Skunkworks, where it talks about his experience working inside the skunkworks on projects like the SR-71 that we see here. Basically, what you do is you take new technology and you put it in place rapidly with very skilled people. And you do this so fast that management almost doesn't see you do it. It's very low cost because you're not going through a lot of bureaucracy. You're not going through a lot of approvals. You're basically just taking your time along with a few trusted people to very quickly prove the technical feasibility of new software features and actions. It works great. And I think you'd enjoy the read. Anybody who's technical would enjoy that read. It's really a shame that this is not known more outside of the automotive and aeronautical industries. So I highly recommend that you check that out. Now, the end of the Deming cycle is the ACT part. And I like to call this standardize, optimize, evangelize. Now, if you figure out a better way to work and you optimize your processes, and then you go out and talk about it and evangelize these better work procedures, people are going to pay attention to you. Those of you who are CAD managers, you didn't graduate from school as a CAD manager. You became one because people came to you for your expertise. So the conclusion there is you don't have to be the boss to lead people. But if you do lead people, you might become the boss. That's what happened to me. It's been a career path that worked very nicely for me. Couple of things I'm going to point out generally as we go through the process. When you evangelize, don't do it in technobabble. Look, anybody can make this stuff sound complicated, but it takes real skill to make it easy. So speak English, speak at a pace that people can understand, and make sure that you explain things in a way that people can relate to. Do that, and they'll follow you. They'll take the lead. The other thing that I've noticed more and more really since COVID, is that CAD and IT are converging and they're almost inseparable. It really pays to know as much as you can about IT and to work collaboratively with IT. Sometimes it's not a CAD problem. It's a permissions problem. It's a subnetting problem. It's something that's a classic IT network issue that is preventing things from working. The more you understand about that, the more you can explain it to IT, and the faster they can help you resolve the problem. So don't just cuss about IT, figure it out and get involved with it. It will pay you back, I promise. Now, as you do all of this in your career, I want you to make sure that you advertise your results to your management team. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily the CEO. It could be your project manager. It could be the engineering manager. It could be the chief financial officer. My point is, show them what you're doing. Show them the efficiency that you're creating and talk to them about the savings. Speak their language, which is money. Show them what you're doing and you'll win them over. Besides, if you don't tell people what you're doing, how will they ever know how valuable you are? And the answer is they won't. So don't labor in silence. Make sure people understand what you're up to. So to wrap it all up, ignore the noise and build your skill set to become a problem-solving, CAD-optimizing leader. Watch your career flourish. Watch opportunities come your way. Watch people take you more seriously. And hey, You might even become the CAD manager. You never know. It's worked for me anyway. I'll hand it back over to you, Katie. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. That was just excellent. And I hope everyone will, just take advantage of this opportunity that we've had Robert here. That was wonderful. We'll turn the time over to Christina for a special recognition.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And great job, Robert. That was fantastic. So we are here to actually pay special recognition to a very special individual, somebody who is intricately connected to AUGI, has been part of us since 1995. Let me just double check that. No, I'm not saying the wrong number. Yes, she has worked with AUGI since 1995. She was a past president, and she contributed to AUGI Worldview and the AUGI World magazine. We would like to welcome Danya. And we are recognizing her for her recent, let me see how I say this correctly. We want to recognize her for earning, no, that's not the right word, the Autodesk Design and Make Award for the Industry Community Leader of the Year, which she received recently at Autodesk University Design and Make Conference. And this was a complete shock to everybody except for Danya, because she knew it beforehand. But we just want to congratulate her, and this was a well-deserved thing. Danya has been in the industry for over 30 years, and her experience covers a variety of fields, including architecture, atomic waste removal, and containment, civil engineering. I am reading off her LinkedIn to make sure I don't mess anything up. She has taught college-level courses and was a manager of an Autodesk authorized training center for several years. She is a content provider, community manager, and just an overall powerhouse to our industry and the information and services that she provides to everybody. She has written multiple articles and training resources and provides tips and tricks for Revit especially. And she is just one of the most amazing people that I have had the pleasure of meeting. And she's probably the reason why I am here today, because she kind of lit this fire a few years ago, and I really appreciate that, everything that she's done. So Danya, just congratulations. This was a well-deserved award, and we look forward to seeing what you get up to in the next few years, because you are just fantastic. So if you haven't already reached out to Danya, and I'm sure anybody here knows her name, please reach out to her on LinkedIn, send your congratulations, and just share this love with her, because this was a very well-deserved award and acknowledgement of everything that she has done for our community, because most of us wouldn't even be here really without the contributions of Danya. So Danya, thank you so much. You're just very wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Christina, and we'll have you continue with our volunteer recognition and partnership.
Yes. So more people who have contributed to AUGI's success, and really the industry in total. So here we can just go to the next screen and we can view our volunteers. So this is a list of people who have contributed to AUGI, interacted with AUGI, content managers, authors, forms, anything like that, board of directors. All of these people give their personal time and provide industry growth and opportunities to anybody who is looking for help or resources. AUGI has been around for so long that many of us were using this in college or when we were a lot younger, to be able to find help in being able to progress further, being able to connect with industry professionals and like-minded individuals about things that we are passionate about. And we just want to recognize all of you for your contributions and your continued support of AUGI. And we look forward to celebrating 2024 with you.
And if we missed anyone, let us know. We'll make sure we add to the list for next time.
Yes, definitely. And then our partner appreciation. So these are companies that sponsor, advertise, and support AUGI. And we are just very thankful for their continued support and helping AUGI grow and reach new heights, and being able to reach new users, people who might not have heard of us before. Through these sponsors, through these partners, we're able to provide resources and information to help people find the solutions to the problems that they have. And so we're very grateful to our partners, and we look forward to 2024 with you and anyone new that might join us. So
thank you so much, Christina. We appreciate you handling this for us, and we appreciate all of our partners. All right, we're going to turn the time over to Chris Lindner.
Okay, let's talk wish list. So, AUGI from its inception has been about connecting users to users, connecting users to developers, connecting users to experts, connecting users to product companies, connecting users to Autodesk itself. And one of the ways that we've done that, in fact, some of you just got back from attending Autodesk University and may not realize that Autodesk University got its start as an AUGI event. So from back at the beginning, AUGI was all about connecting users, and the AU event was just one of those ways where AUGI helped facilitate the connection with its members to be able to interact, learn from, and meet other Autodesk people and product developers. And in between these in-person events, one of the ways that we were able to provide that feedback to Autodesk was through the wish list system. The AUGI wish list system actually predates AUGI. The wish list was started in the mid-90s when the organization was known as the North American AutoCAD User Group, NAUG. You may hear that term from time to time. So the wish list has been around for a while, and at that time in the mid-90s, that wish list was one of the only, maybe even the only channel through which users could submit bug reports and feature requests back to Autodesk. Autodesk has since added a number of different ways to do that, but the wish list still continues to play an important role in product development. In fact, the AUGI wish list has a Hall of Fame. You may not realize that, but you can go to the AUGI site, go to wish list, and go to Hall of Fame and see all of the wishes that have been granted into the product. And I'll just give you some numbers just for reference. In AutoCAD, there's been over 500 of AUGI wishes that have been implemented in the product. The Revit products, architectural, MEP, and structural, there's been about over 380. Civil 3D, over 150. Inventor, over 200. So the wish list system has been pared down over recent years to be just AutoCAD specific, because Autodesk has added additional ways for different products to collect those wishes. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at it. We're going to take a look at the top 10 wishes for 2023, and we won't bother with the drum roll necessarily, but we will go through these. The first one on the list, well, we'll start with number 10. Yeah, number 10. This one is basically, if you've got a coordinate system that is not parallel to the window, your selection window will align with that. Kind of an interesting request from Greg. The next one on the list, number 9, is multi-core processors. We could always benefit from having a little more engine power behind our systems for sure. Number 8 is list of blocks and their properties. This is kind of interesting. What I think the wish talks about being what they call a block manager palette, similar to the XREF palette, where you can see a tree view of blocks to show how they're nested within each other, see thumbnails, be able to change properties of blocks, but without having to edit the block specifically. So interesting wish. Number 7, separate, undo, and redo of viewing commands. Apparently, this is a feature in some other CAD systems, and the ability to separate view commands from other edit or modify or create commands can be useful. Number 6, work on performance, kind of goes along with number 9. We can definitely use more performance always. Number 5, set OSNAP priority. Interesting idea where you can actually put a priority on the OSNAPs that you have. If you got multiple running object snaps, you can be able to give a weight to those object snaps. Kind of interesting. Number 4, restored performance. This is kind of a theme here. We've got 3 wishes so far that are about performance. Number 6 and number 4 both are from a guy named Stefan. Looks like he's really pounding that drum about performance, which is definitely would benefit everything that we do in AutoCAD. All right, number 3, dynamic blocks and multi-leaders. This would be a fantastic addition. The ability for you to be able to use a dynamic block as content in a multi-leader and be able to change those dynamic properties of that block. Really good idea. Number 2, floating paper space. We have floating model or the drawings are now floating. That's been implemented as of a few years ago. But the ability to have a paper space layout tab and model space displayed simultaneously is an interesting idea, and I think that would definitely have some value. And then the last one, we didn't have a drum roll. We need a drum roll. There it is. AutoCAD help needs more help. Okay. AutoCAD help can always use help, and that's where AUGI comes in. If AutoCAD's help isn't good enough, you can certainly reach out to AUGI. Autodesk did recently introduce their Autodesk Assistant, which you may have played around with or may want to look into. This is basically an AI-guided self-service tool that lets you get feedback from the knowledge that Autodesk has acquired and has available. Kind of goes along with what Rafael was talking about as far as the Chat GPT thing. So anyway, there's your top 10. If you don't like these, then get involved. If you think another wish has more value than some of the ones that you've got listed here, then there's ways to get involved. Katie, you can go to the next slide. Obviously, we want you to submit wishes through the wish list system. Then you can help us choose and rank these wishes. It's a multi-tiered kind of a playoff system that we've got so that you can bubble up to the surface the ones that have the most value to you. And then each wish has a forum post associated with it, which is kind of handy because if you see a wish, you want to engage with the person who submitted the wish, or you want to add some qualifiers or other ideas to that, you can interact with that wish just to make that a little bit more robust. And hopefully we see that implemented in the software sometime down the road. So there's a wish list system. Get involved and make a difference. Thanks, everybody.
Chris. Awesome. All right, we'll turn the time over to Eric to take a few minutes to talk about our AUGI World, the podcast.
Yep, right on. Well, thank you guys for being here and for giving me this opportunity to present. So AUGI World, the podcast. Yes, we have a podcast. One of the skill sets that I bring along to the board was having a podcast. And so I was very excited to be able to bring this to life. And actually, almost to the day, we released our first episode on December 6th of 2022. So we're on all the major platforms. The 2 major ones are going to be Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but I think we're on like 10 different podcast platforms. So whatever is your flavor, you can probably find us there. Look for AUGI World, the podcast. Next slide. Through this last year, we've done it. The podcast is in 2 different styles. One is interviews. So we will look for subject matter experts. So for those of you that we've interviewed this past year, thank you. For the ones that are waiting for me to get back to you, I do plan on getting those rescheduled. At the same time as our content authors for AUGI World Magazine, we're having those folks just read their article, so that way we can bring those to you in obviously in online through the hard copy magazine, but also through the podcast. So again, if you are interested, we just get a hold of me. But also, if you're a content manager and you're watching this or content author for the magazine, feel free to just read your articles and shoot them over to me. So next slide. This was fantastic. So it's crazy. It's crazy to me when we're on this platform how we can reach across the world, and that's the power of technology, right? So obviously, majority of our demographic is here in the United States, with Canada, and then the rest, right? I mean, Saudi Arabia. I'm like, who's listening to us to over there? But in Germany and Spain and Australia, and there's others. It's just amazing. So again, the ability for us to reach the world and helping educate people with CAD BIM technology solutions, best practices, is amazing. Again, if you're a part of the podcast, we do have some reach on how the people that we're reaching across the world. Next slide. Same time, we're always looking for guests, just like we're looking for content managers and additional authors for the magazine. So if you are interested, just send a email to awpodcast@augi.com. That goes straight to me, and I will coordinate with you accordingly. So again, for everybody who participated, thank you very much. And here's to 2024 and continuing to grow the podcast. So thank you.
Thanks, Eric. All right, we're just going to take a minute to talk about how you can get involved. And Christina, if you want to come back in. We are almost done, everyone. Just hold on. We're getting close, okay?
Mine's easy. So this is almost a recap of our entire meeting today. So we are always looking for people to get involved and to join our community. So as Eric has just recently said, well said as well, create a podcast and we will share it, or be a guest on one of our podcasts. We have a form you can fill out. Please, we are always looking for new content and new people to get involved. We're always looking for new authors. If you have a topic you're passionate about or anything like that, please reach out to us and we will see how we can integrate you into one of our monthly publications or get you on a more consistent cycle. Becoming a content manager. We are always looking for people to fill in some of the categories that we're missing, and your insight, even as small as you think it is, maybe you don't feel like you have something important to say. Do you have a problem? Did you have a problem today? Guaranteed somebody else had that problem and is looking for that solution. Those are the type of things that we would like to share and to pass on to the industry and to the professionals. Sharing AUGI posts and social media. This is super easy to do. Even just liking one of our posts, listening to one of our podcasts, all of this contributes to our growth and into our larger reach with the community. So anything that you do to interact with AUGI really does have an impact, and we appreciate all of it. And do you have other ideas? We are always looking for something new and exciting. That is why we introduce the advisory board members, which we are super excited to go through 2024 and see what kind of impact that they can make with us, or a different idea. And we have some new things coming in 2024, which I think are coming up next. So those are other opportunities where you guys can get involved and connect with your community, connect with like-minded professionals, because we're all in the same boat. We just might be dealing with a different battle. So anything that you would like to contribute to us, please just get in contact with us and we would be more than happy to reach out to you.
Thanks, Christina. All right, we have some big announcements. I know some of you maybe were hopefully waiting for this. These are things that we're, you can look for in 2024. And Eric, if you want to jump back in and let's talk about these things. Oh, you're muted.
All right. Don't hit the next button yet. So okay, one is I'm very honored that I get to present this. The things that we're going to be presenting to you today are some initiatives that are very close to my heart. And so with that said, let's go to the next slide. So looking forward to 2024, we're taking the AUGI community, we're developing the AUGI community. And this is going to be taking, one of the big things is wanting to connect with our members even more and connecting with the industry. And so very similar to forums, obviously, but we're going to develop an online community. It's going to have a mobile app and also a desktop version for those who like to sit at the computer and be able to contribute. But yeah, we're just going to be able to have all of the the topics that you guys want to know about, right? CAD management, geospatial, manufacturing, programming, events, and things like that. We're going to be able to put it this way. Augie is going to be in your back pocket or in your purse or in your backpack. I can't believe we are so excited about this. We've already got the ball rolling on this, but truly excited about what this is going to do to further connect us as a community. So look out for 2024, the quarter one of 2024, and getting this roll out. Again, in order for you to be a part of this, you have to be an Augie member. So again, very exclusive, and a great benefit to our members. Next. All right. So at the same time, we also are developing our own Augie GPT. And so this is going to be the CAD BIM mentor that you always wish you had at your fingertips. This is really just going to take, we're programming this now. Raphael's actually in getting him to be a part of our guest presentation today. We started talking about this, and he's actually collaborating with me to help get this going even further. And so we are very excited. We are going to be using a lot of the Augie intellectual property that we have via the magazine and forums and such, and feed it into this along with other things that are available to program this GPT. So Augie, again, the downside is they changed the way that they do this. And so you have to be a Chat GPT Plus member in order to be able to access that. So that's the only drawback. Before, they did allow you to use it as a shared link, but they've changed that. But nonetheless, it's going to be another great resource that's going to be, again, in your back pocket. So again, that's kind of the theme, right? Is we're just trying to so much be able to be there for you guys, give you assets, give you resources at your fingertips. And so hopefully between the Augie community and the GPT, and of course, you could go to the forums and go get the magazine, but we're just really trying to diversify how we can serve you as our members. Now, the next one really needs a drum roll, because we can't tell you how excited we are. We almost pulled this off, but then at the last minute, we decided to pause to making sure that we can give you guys the best experience. So Katie, so in spring of 2024, we're going to have AuGieCon 24. It is going to, I actually got goosebumps saying that. That's kind of crazy. And so something we've been talking about, again, this first version is going to be a virtual event. Again, very similar to everything else, just getting some guest speakers, some workshops and other things. So we're very excited. We don't know how any of this is going to quite play out quite yet. We have some ideas. Obviously, since we almost launched it at the end here in 2023, but nonetheless, very excited to be able to get us back on the radar of conferences and to be an extension of some of those other ones that are also provided to you. But hopefully, again, like I think Chris said, Augie is about connecting users to users, users to technology, users to other groups. And so I think the spin and the heart that the Augie community has, the Augie board, our new advisory board committees, advisory board members, let me tell you, we have some great things in store. You have to be a member. So make sure to go augie.com, I think it's join or something like that, to be able to do that, to take advantage of all of these. But this event, you're going to see more about it. So what we would greatly appreciate is if you see it, if you can reshare it, repost it, do whatever to help us hype this up. We're really excited. And so hopefully you're excited as well. And for some of you guys that are out there that, we'll be reaching out to people and seeing if we can get some volunteers of helping us as well. So again, Augie community coming soon, the Augie GPT coming, and most definitely looking forward to the AuGieCon 24 in the spring.
All right, wonderful. Well, I just wanted to share with all of you that my goal has always been that Augie be a place for the CAD and BIM communities to come together, for you guys to be able to connect with your peers, and for you guys to be able to find a resource, regardless of what product you're using. We want you to have a place to come together and to get answers and to get support. And that's really our goal. We don't have a ton of time for questions, unfortunately, because we're already getting we're a little later than we had planned. But if anybody does have anything, please feel free to reach out to us. You can find our emails on augi.com, and you're welcome to you're welcome to link up with us on LinkedIn and reach out to us on LinkedIn is what I was trying to say. But thank you all for your time today. And I'm just gonna say that we'd like to close our meeting, but can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Scott.
And I second that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. And we're so happy that we could be here with all of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Katie, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
holiday. Happy New Year.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bye.
AUGICon 24, it's coming to you.
Woo!
Yes. Woo-hoo.
Woo.
Be there.
So good.
Watch it for social media.
Virtual beer glasses for everybody.